Hello. Well, I got a few minutes before I clock in, so I'm going to do 15 minutes of this William Cooper. We're on page 81. This is Chapter 2, Secret Societies, and the New World Order. So I'm going to hide myself and go ahead and start reading. Hope everyone is doing well. Now, we left off, and I'm going to just go up a little bit, catch my last sentence. All will protest their innocence and will do everything within their power to destroy anyone who suggests otherwise. I will undoubtedly become a target when this book is published. You may notice that some of those listed in the preceding paragraphs do not, or so it appears, practice degrees. Excuse me, y'all. Practice degrees of initiation. That is the public view. Look at the Council on Foreign Relations. Many members, in fact, the majority, never serve on the executive committees. They never go through any initiation of any kind. They are, in fact, the power base and are used to gain a consensus of opinion. The majority are not really members, but are made to feel as if they are. In reality, they are being used and are unwilling or unable to understand. The executive committee is an inner core of intimate associates, members of a secret society called the Order of the Quest, also known as the Jason Society, devoted to a common purpose. The members are an outer circle on whom the inner core acts by personal persuasion, patronage, and social pressure. This is how they bought Henry Kissinger. Rockefeller gave Kissinger a grant of $50,000 in the early 50s, a fortune in those days, and made dear old Henry a member of the CFR. Anyone in the outer circle who does not toe the mark is summarily expelled, and the lesson is not lost on those who remain. Do you remember the human desire to be a member of the elect? That is the principle at work. The real power are men who are always recruited without exception from the secret societies of Harvard and Yale, known as the Skull and Bones and the Scroll and Key. Both societies are secret branches, also called the Brotherhood of Death, of what is otherwise historically known as the Illuminati. They are connected to parent organizations in England, the group of Oxford University, and especially All Souls College. In Germany, the Thule Society, also called the Brotherhood of Death. I learned this when I was with Naval Intelligence. I was not able to explain some members of the executive committee were not listed under the addresses of Chapter 322 of the Skull and Bones Society until I read The Wise Men by Walter Isaacson excuse me, and Evan Thomas, Simon and Schuster, New York. Under illustration number 9 in the center of the book, you will find the caption, "Love It," with the Yale unit above, far right and on the beach. His initiation into Skull and Bones came at an airbase near Dunkirk. I have found that members of these two societies were chosen on an ongoing basis by invitation based upon merit post-college and were not confined to only Harvard or Yale attendees. Only members of the order are initiated into the Order of the Quest. The Jason Society makes up the executive members of the Council on Foreign Relations, and in fact, the Trilateral Commission as well. The executive members of the Council on Foreign Relations are the real elect in this country. George Bush is a member of the order. Surprise? You shouldn't be. His father was also a member who helped finance Hitler. It is important that you know that the members of the order take an oath that absolves them from any allegiance to any nation or king or government or constitution, and that includes the negating of any subsequent oath of allegiance which they may be required to take. They swear allegiance only to the order and its goal of a new world order. George Bush is not a loyal citizen of the United States, but instead is loyal only to the destruction of the United States and to the and to the formation of the new world order. According to the oath Bush took when he was initiated into Skull and Bones, his oath of office as President of the United States of America means nothing. The Trilateral Commission is an elite group of some 300 very prominent business, political, and intellectual decision makers of Western Europe, North America, and Japan. This enterprise is a private agency that works to build up political and economic cooperation among three regions. Its grand design, which it no longer hides, is a new world order. The Trilateral Commission was the idea of its founder, American banking magnate David Rockefeller. The real reason for its formation was the decline of the Council on Foreign Relations power as a result of the people's dissatisfaction with the Vietnam War. The reasoning behind the move toward the Trilateral Commission was the same as entering two horses in the same race. It doubles the chances of winning. The real power. Y'all gotta excuse me. There's a mosquito in my room. Oh, it just keeps biting me. The decline of the Council on Foreign Relations power as a result of the people's dissatisfaction with Vietnam War. The reasoning behind the move toward the Trilateral Commission was the same as entering two horses in the same race. It doubles the chances of winning. The real power has always remained solidly in the hands of the Council on Foreign Relations. The Rockefeller family was, is, and always will be the benefactor of both organizations. Rockefeller, though powerful, is not in control in this country or anywhere else. The key to the real power is the fact that Rockefeller had to put out feelers at a Bilderberg group meeting in 1972 about forming a private group of trilateral leaders. The Bilderberg group gave the nod, and Rockefeller's man Zbigniew Brzezinski gathered up a membership and organized the Trilateral Commission in 1972, not in 1973 as the Commission claims. A key to the danger presented by the Trilateral Commission is its seminal piece written for them by Harvard Professor Samuel P. Huntington in the mid-70s. In the paper, Professor Huntington recommended that democracy and economic development must be discarded as outdated ideas. He wrote as co-author of the book Crisis in Democracy, "We have come to recognize that there are potential desirable limits to economic growth. There are also potentially desirable limits to the indefinite extension of political democracy. A government which lacks authority will have little ability short of cataclysmic crisis to impose on its people these sacrifices which may be necessary." The crisis and sacrifice he talks about will be discussed in a later chapter. Remember that George Bush was a member of the Trilateral Commission and only resigned as an expediency to get elected. He believes wholeheartedly in the commission and its ideas and ideals. We have elected a president who believes that democracy and economic development must be discarded. I tell you now that he is working towards that end. Bush is still a member of the order and the CFR. The Jason Society, or Jason Scholars, takes its name from the story of Jason and the Golden Fleece, and it is a branch of the Order of the Quest, one of the highest degrees in the Illuminati. The Golden Fleece takes on the role of truth to Jason members. Jason represents this search for truth. Therefore, the name Jason Society denotes a group of men who are engaged in a search for the truth. The name Jason is spelled with capital letters when used as the name of the Jason Society. Lowercase letters are never used when referring to this group. Author's note: the name may even have a deeper meaning, as the name Jason and the Golden Fleece appear throughout history in relation to various other societies, secret societies. In these instances, the story represents man, Jason, looking for himself, Golden Fleece. Top secret documents that I read while with the Naval Intelligence stated that President Eisenhower had commissioned the Jason Society to examine all of the evidence, facts, lies, and deception, and find the truth of the alien question. Founders of the Jason Group, not the same as the Jason Society, include members of the famous Manhattan Project, which brought together almost every leading physicist in the nation to build the atomic bomb during World War II. The group is made up mostly of theoretical physicists and is the most elite gathering of scientific minds in the United States. As of 1987, the membership included four Nobel Prize winners. Today, Jason continues to offer scientific help to the government cannot find anyone anywhere else. They are probably the only group of scientists in the United States that know the true state of highest technology. That irks me. Jason is shrouded in what appears to be unnecessary secrecy. The group refuses to release its membership list. None of the members list Jason membership on their official resumes. Working completely behind the scenes, Jason has guided the nation's most important security decisions. These include, but are not limited to, Star Wars, submarine warfare, and predictions about the greenhouse effect. The Jason members are each paid a $500 per day consultant's fee. In the documents that I read while with the Naval Intelligence, did we skip some? With Naval Intelligence, the Jasons predicted that the greenhouse effect would lead ultimately to an ice age. According to the Pentagon, the Jasons hold the highest and most restrictive security clearances in the nation. They are given the protocol rank of Rear Admiral, 2 stars, when they visit or travel aboard ships or visit military bases. The only other reference to the Jason Group that I have been able to find is in the Pentagon papers. The papers stated that Jason was responsible for designing the electronic barrier between North and South Vietnam for the purpose of sealing off infiltration of the South by North Vietnamese regulars during the Vietnam War. I was stationed on the DMZ, and I can tell you that it did not work. The veil of secrecy drawn around the Jason Group has been so tight and so leak-proof since its conception that those who think the government cannot keep a secret need to re-examine that position. The government was able to contain the Jason secret except for the one leak, but the Jason Group itself, a civilian group, did even better. No leaks ever